Severance, every character ranked. This show was incredible and one of the best things that I've seen for a while. The cast and characters were a main contribution to the success of the show, so with that I thought it would be worth putting all of the main characters up against each other and ranking them from worst to best. So, who is the best character in the show? Let's find out. Here is Severance, every character ranked. Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers. Number 12, Mr. Craner. The character that I'm putting in last place on this list is Mr. Craner. I feel we got some involvement from him, but his contribution to the show didn't have the largest impact or leave a lasting impression. Even his death felt a little bit underwhelming. So for that reason, he's at the bottom of this list. Number 11, Natalie. Natalie, the face of the board. Well, she seems to be the middle person anyway. She acts as a figurehead and merely a form of communication between the board and Harmony Cabell. We don't really see any real personality from her other than in the final episode, and it looks as though she lives and breathes Lumon. I feel we may get to know more about her in the next season. Number 10, Rickon. Rickon is the brother-in-law to Mark on the outside. Despite not having that much involvement in the show, his main contribution was sharing the book which ended up with the innies. He's a pretty comedic character in the sense that he sounds philosophical and spiritual, and it's quite the opposite to the tone of the show. But I do quite like him, just purely because he's almost like the comedic relief. He's harmless. Number 9, Devon. Coming in at number 9 is Devon. She's Mark's sister and she's most certainly onto something. She clearly cares a lot about Mark since he lost his wife, and you can see the love and caring nature that she has. It looks like she's skeptical about Lumon, and rightfully so. I don't think she's necessarily the most likable character, but I like what she stands for and the way that it looks like she's going to go about it in season 2 of the show. Number 8, Miss Casey. Miss Casey is an interesting one. She feels extremely robotic in her mannerisms and nature, but she seems soft and gentle. We now know that she's the wife of Mark on the outside, so I'm intrigued to see and hope that we get to see what she's like as an outie. I can't imagine she'd be anything like what she's like in Severance. She comes across as quite likable, and I think the more that we see her, which I think we definitely will in season 2, the more she'll grow on us as the viewers. Number 7, Bert. Christopher Walken as Bert was the perfect casting. The soft, delicate nature and articulation of the sentences were extremely soothing to listen to and matched the personality of the character that he adopted. I enjoyed watching the relationship grow between himself and Irving, and it was actually quite sad when we saw him on the outside with somebody else. He was skeptical in there and was prepared to break rules, adopt his own destiny, and unite the teams, and I thought that was a good mindset for the character to have. It made me like him a lot. Number 6, Miss Cabell. Miss Cabell, I think, is a great character. Patricia Arquette plays the role perfectly. The extreme worshipper, cult-like mentality that she adopts is quite frightening, and the switch of emotions we see her go through are rather impressive. The demise of the character was a great one to witness. When we see her as Miss Selvig, we see a completely different side to her. The character really does switch it up, and it genuinely feels like a different person. She's filled with emotions, talkative, and acts as though she cares, compared to when she's Miss Cabell and she's cold, sharp, and frightening. Number 5, Milchik. Milchik is a character that I really liked in the show. I feel he's conflicted in his interests. Despite working for the company, he's the only person who seems to have a smile on his face. He seems to care a lot about the group, and although his main job is to keep them all in check, I feel he does come across the most human out of all of the people that head up the team. Personally, I think he'll switch sides in season 2. Number 4, Dylan. Dylan is a cool character. He's extremely laid back, was content with where he was, and was the funniest out of them all. We didn't really get to see him as an outie, but when we did, we saw a glimpse of what his life was like. I felt like out of everybody there, he was the one that was there for the group the most. Zach Cherry was the perfect casting for the role, and I hope we get to learn even more about him in season 2. Number 3, Irving. This was a character that I enjoyed watching from the moment that he came on screen. He started as a character that would always follow protocol and was almost like the teacher's pet. He lived and breathed the rules of the company and would be the first to admit it. His tone of voice was extremely calm and I enjoyed listening to him in his conversations. You knew that things were bad when we saw him turn on Lumon right at the end. The relationship with Bert was extremely nice to watch unfold, and you could really sense the love and care that he had for him. He was easily one of the best characters in the show, and one that you could imagine in real life. Number 2. Helly. I was torn on Helly at first, but she definitely grew on me. I think she was the representation of what it would be like for one of us to be in there, and that's why my opinion ended up changing. It would be extremely uncomfortable, alien, and not familiar at all, and she embodied all of that. The resistance that she had was extremely relatable, and the kiss she had with Mark at the end was quite unexpected, but I think it will be picked up in Season 2. I thought she grew into the role well, and we learned a lot about her in an organic, natural way. The revelation about her being related to the founder is something I'm really interested to see get picked up when the show does return, as that could change the overall tone and direction of the character moving forward. Number 1. Mark. Adam Scott as Mark was just brilliant. He was my favorite character. The relationship that he held with each of the other characters were all treated so differently, and the consistency was there. Adam Scott executed the character in a way that was relatable in the sense that you understood the human side to him, but also the fact that he just wanted to be good at his job, and he wasn't really. You saw the contrast between the innie version and outie version the most with him, due to the fact that Mark as an outie was extremely down due to the loss of his wife. The reasoning for him going in there was harrowing and sad, and you could understand why he did. Adam Scott delivered an outstanding character with conviction, relatability, and likability, and that's why he's number 1. So, there you have it. All of the main characters from Severance ranked. Who do you think is the best? Leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time.